Welcome to the Political, Economic and Current Affairs program, Voice of London Television. My name is Nana Osajifo. You can also pick us up on Voice of London Radio, our sister station. You can also have a feed on other radio and TV stations across the globe. We'll be looking at matters pertaining the motherland, the Pan-African world, with tidbits from the international world. I'll also be speaking with my very learned colleague in the person of Sir Obed later on. And would like to remind you to make sure you like, share, and of course subscribe. Make sure every family member, friends get to know about this unique, dynamic, the only Pan-African program for the voiceless. Let me go straight away without wasting time at all and introduce my learned guest in the person of Obed. Obed, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Great.
Excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Obed. And you know what? Your patience is just unbelievable. And I'm so grateful to have you on the show. We were just sorting out a small, slight technical hitch, but the production team, and of course, we've got it going great. So Obed, interesting stories coming from the motherland and the Pan-African world. Let's go straight and start with the entertainment stories.
Definitely.
What have you got for us, Sir Obed?
Yeah, welcome to the entertainment segment. In fact, here in, let me say, Ghana, when we say entertainment, we're talking about music and arts. But I'm educated to know that in the diaspora, when you say entertainment, they're talking about the arts and sports. So what we've done here is to get a marriage so we are able to serve the local people and then the international people. So let me dive straight into the entertainment side. We lost a veteran actor in the name of Maoli Semevo. He passed away after sustaining fire injuries from a fire accident. His brother narrated the story, and it's quite one that is bothering a lot of people because Maoli is loved by a lot of people. He comes from the stock of, the era of Jagapi and Jifago Mashi. You know, during the times they had this show on television, and it was marvelous. Talk of movies like Harvest at 17, and Maole is just amazing person. But as the story seemed to go for a lot of these actors and some of our musicians, when they grow, it looks like we are not able to take very good care of them. Sometimes people accuse governments or institutions or people in power who do not make, let's say, arrangements for these people. Some also argue that why should government be bothered by such people? After all, when a carpenter is working, he gets paid. When an actor is working, he gets paid. If a carpenter is not able to make life or ends meet when he grows, the government is not blamed for it. So why is it that when an actor grows and is in trouble and he's not able to take care of himself, people are like, yeah, we do not have institutions taking care of these people. I mean, there are a lot of back and forth there, because people feel that why should a segment of society or a class of workers be treated special than for example, if a doctor goes home on retirement or whatever and he goes broke, nobody complains that, oh, why is that the government is not protecting doctors who go home broke and stuff like that. But in the arts, especially musicians and actors and actresses, these issues come up. I'm not saying that is the case here. I'm only reporting of Mauli's demise and how the whole country is worried about that. Now let me move on to.
Before you move on to the next item,
Yeah.
With regards to the Maoli guy,
Yeah.
The concern of some section of society trying to drag government in and all that. Over here in the developed world, I like to say that they have the welfare state.
Yeah.
And so, and they, apart from the welfare states, you know, they have systems that are in place that can take care of such people, right?
Okay.
In spite of whether they've had fame before or not. There is also the insurance aspect there, you know, and so and there is some form of government pool that sometimes can also help in the face of such a death. And so what some of the section of the people are saying, I think it's about time the third world countries such as Africa and not just, you know, Ghana alone, but the rest of Africa need to look at this welfare state thing, because there are so many people that even to have a single meal a day is a problem, you know. And because if you look at our resources and the amount of wealth, you know, Ghana is not poor, Africa is not poor. It is the people that are poor. So there must be something wrong somewhere. And so we need to look at it, because you see, when you look at, I don't know if you want to interject. And then
you know, when you're making a point about the idea of the state coming in, I do not have problem when the state has a system to take care of everybody. But I'm saying that why don't we encourage people in the arts to, you know, get onto schemes like everybody does, like pension schemes, like social security schemes, like welfare schemes. Like, why don't we encourage them to do that privately, like everybody else does? Why do we always want to make them as if they belong to a special set? Because my point is this: a carpenter works. He is supposed to take care of himself and his retirement. If a carpenter gets into trouble and is not able to raise money for a surgery, it doesn't come in the news.
yes.
Why? I'm saying that we should encourage them to do some of these things themselves. For me, it's the best way, because the national cake will not be big enough to go round. Even if you go around, by the time you need it, it might not be there. It might be big. The cake might be big, but it's not on serve. You understand? So by the time you need it, it might not be available, and then something might happen. So I'm saying that we should encourage them right from onset, when they are making all those big monies, making all those movies. Let's encourage them to invest some of the monies, so that on a rainy day, if government comes to support, that's fine. But if nobody shows up, at least they've been able to put something aside on their own, just like every other profession does. That's all I'm saying. I'm not against government supporting. I'm not saying we should encourage people to do some of these things themselves. It makes things easier. Because, I mean, if everybody,
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you because over here in the developed world, we all have our private insurance schemes and stuff.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that when we tend to have the vulnerable ones, or you
Yeah.
always,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
the state or social services or
Need to
the
step in.
assembly needs to step in
I
because
agree.
the national cake doesn't just belong to those in power and authority
I agree.
for their per diems and their
I agree.
partial those
I mean,
things.
on that
So
score, I agree perfectly.
yeah, so I will be advocating for that type of feeling where we all believe that we are part of the state of Ghana or the continent of Africa, where when you can clearly see probably Mauli wasn't economically, I'm not sure his status, but from what you are saying, it seems that probably there was lack of funds. I'm not sure. I'm not there with you people, but what's the situation with it like?
That issue is not really brought to the fore. But I mean, you could see from some of pictures and some of the narrative, it's not something that somebody is saying, oh, Mole is down, Mole needs money. No, nobody has said that. But you can make inferences, and this is just mine, that maybe if it was financially sound, maybe these injuries, we could have gotten a better, uh, let me say, facilities or something to come to his aid earlier or faster, and then we might have, gotten rid of this tragic death. I mean, I believe it's avoidable. That is me, because I mean, I
So
don't
was
know.
there where he was living? Was he a bit deplorable and very bad state? I
No,
guess.
no, what I'm saying is that those
Mm,
matters are not trumpeted. They are not brought to the fore because I believe the family do not want to, get into all those ones. They just want to focus on Maul, the great actor who has fallen, and of course, is loved by a lot of people. Myself, I like the way he runs the show. So definitely, if there's anything to support, I mean, we're going to do that. I only chipped in the idea of the support system because is an actor, and we have a couple of people in that space who, from time to time, the issues of let's raise some money to help this guy, let's raise some money to help that guy comes up. And I'm saying that we cannot continue doing that to ourselves. We
mm,
cannot. It's not sustainable. The only
mm,
way it is sustainable is that at a time when the person is making some good money, he's educated enough. I mean, financial literacy comes in so that he understands how to put some monies away for a rainy day, how to
mm,
put some money into some investment, how to save the later. Because, see, if we are encouraging, for example, people who hawkers on the street, if you are encouraging hawkers to save, if you're encouraging hawkers to invest, why shouldn't we encourage actors and musicians to also invest? So that when they are out of business or when they are out of fame, they can fall on these things. Because you're encouraging everybody that, look, let's have a saving culture in Africa where we don't just eat everything that comes our way. So I'm just
mm.
saying that that culture of saving or investing should be something that should go in all directions, not just some people, but including actors and actresses and musicians who most of the time you see them on radio and on television with the complaint that we need to raise this money. This guy is very sick. We need to raise this money to take care of this person. I'm saying let's encourage them to get into some of these insurance schemes, some of
Yeah.
these private health, whatever. In fact, I must say that even here in Ghana, the national health insurance it works and it works well. You might have one or two channels, but it works. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a plus for what we've been able to do as a people. But of course, it might not be able to serve everybody as you want it. But if you have something, some investment somewhere, some savings somewhere, when these things come, you can fall on it and then get yourself out of trouble. That's the point I'm trying to make.
But even the industry is all over the place. Since I don't, that industry needs to be looked at as well. Okay, you were saying something. You were going on to a second section.
Yeah, something to, I don't know whether to say it will make you laugh or whatever, but I mean, you can see that it's there to get some people thinking. So now, Miss Bell has accused Sonny Badu of owing her $300. She claimed she's been trying to retrieve this money for, I think, 4 or 5 years. Now, she made this claim on a podcast hosted by one Emmanuel Ajimai. And when Emma was asking, how come, because knowing Sonny Badu, $300 is chicken feed for him. So why wouldn't Sonny Badu want to pay? And she says, I've been trying to collect my money. I've been trying to talk to him. And he laughs over it and says, oh, I'll pay you. But it's been years and he's still not paid. So, and when she's asked, so what is the issue? What did you do for him? Then she said, I used my card to pay for something on his behalf with the intention that he was going to refund the $300. That has happened.
Is it $300 or 300,000?
$300.
Oh, okay.
And it's the reason why it sounds ridiculous, because knowing Sonny Badu, $300 is chicken feed. It's not something that Sonny Badu is going to shake over it. So honestly, when I heard it, I'm like, oh, what is this? Is it just to get the internet talking or get the music space a bit, So, I mean, but that's Miss Bell for you. Once in a while, she comes up with some of these stories, and you wonder. And the way she speaks, she speaks a lot of conviction. Like, yeah, if you want to know what really happened, pay me the $300, and I'll tell you the gist. I'll tell you exactly what I did for him. And I'm like, come on, Miss Bell, what is this? Anyway, that was Miss Bell.
So now, Miss Bell is trending again.
Yeah.
But is it Miss Bell the one with the, should I say is it the spiritual advice?
You
know where I'm going, right?
I know where you're going. And
With
it's the same
the talented child with
what is it? Okonfo Black.
Oh, okay. What do they call him?
Okonfo Black. Okonfo Black.
Oh, Okonfo Black. Okay. And then Miss Bell was also in the news a couple of days ago about one Pastor Charlotte or Reverend Charlotte.
Yes, in fact, she made that claim. In fact, the last show that we couldn't do, I had a story there. That marriage counselor story, I had it there, but because the show couldn't come on. But she made, she was of the view that some of these people that parade themselves as counselors or as resource persons, they are not worth the name and the kind of titles we give them, because as far as she is concerned, this is somebody who has just mustered courage and saying things she feels people want to hear. Because as far as she's concerned, if you can't manage your marriage, and your husband comes out, who is a pastor, comes out to say all these things about you, she doesn't see why you should be even considered. I mean, that woman, Councillor Charlotte, she's made a lot of claims in the past, and some of them, people, you see, even Lucifer has supporters, so you can understand. She will say something that you're like, why should you say that? The phone lines are open. and people are divided. Some like what she's saying. Some, I mean, I remember one time when she spoke about um, women and when your husband is cheating, how to,
To
I
overlook,
think,
to overlook it and saying,
yeah. Some of the people
yes,
disagreed. Some said, hey, I mean, do what you got to do to keep your marriage. Because, see, if you leave, somebody will come. So, and then if you leave, are you leaving and that you are not going to enter into anything anymore? Or
yes.
you're leaving and hoping that somebody else gets spoiled so that you get fixed? I mean, that is uh marriage counselor Charlotte for you. She says a lot of things that sometimes can get you thinking.
Mm.
Now let's go to Great Ampon.
Yes, what's happening with him? Another interesting. Today, the interesting figures are coming through. We got Miss Bell, and then
Yeah,
we
so
got.
Great Ampon has released a new song, apologizing to National Democratic Congress for
Okay, so basically, Ampon has got a song out, isn't it?
yeah.
That's the apology song.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, let's hear what it
Yeah,
is.
I
Interesting.
mean, basically just to say that, I mean, it's just campaign and it's just what people feel and they put it out there. So, and I'm sure the NDC wouldn't have a problem with this. It's nothing. It's just like the way somebody will mount the stage or go on radio station and say things, some factual, some lies, some just to malign people. And then they are
Yeah.
able to get some people to say, yeah, we agree, that kind of thing. So there's a song there, trying to say, well, whatever happened, it's one of those things. And let me just oppose that against, let me move into some of the things that happened in the parliament today during the
Okay.
vetting.
Yeah.
And I think it was the deputy minister for education. What is his
Mhm.
name? The name just escaped me. But then he had made some posts, and I'm just opposing this against Ampon's apology, where on the campaign trail people say things, and then with benefit of hindsight, they want to polish what they said or maybe retract and then apologize. That's why I'm just tying that in. He was asked that he made a post lumping Baumia, Nanado together and the MPP party, saying that they are a useless bunch of people and their party because they benefit from Galamsey, and that's why they are not doing anything about it. So Afenyo was asking him that if you are making that assertion because you know one, two, three MPP people who are engaged in Galamsey, if you want to add the president and say that he's benefiting directly, will it be fair to say today that those NDC tags are going around the national buffer stock, they went, broke it up, took the rice and everything? Will you say that Mama is complicit? Because using the same argument that if somebody is in the party and is doing something and it's not called to order, then it means that the leader is complicit. So then he said, well, he's sorry. He finds those words harsh. And if he had opportunity, he will still criticize, but not have used the same words. So I'm just saying that to marry into Ampon and his apology to the NDC for some of
Yeah.
the things. Yeah.
But what do you make out of the deputy minister for education? So basically, he apologized.
Yeah, he's saying that if the I mean when the facts were brought to him and asked him with the same measurement, will you call Mahama that is complicit in whatever is happening? Because see, Galamsey has not ended. It's still ongoing. And there are people there showing videos saying that the NDC guys come to them and they pay them money and they give them the right to enter into the forest. So now, will you say that Bahama and the vice?
I get the point very well.
Yeah.
So basically, can we, I mean, the viewers and our audiences measure the same magnitude of the Galamsey to the analogy Afenyo Markin was trying to make?
Yeah, because see, for the deputy minister to quickly retract, he knew that if he continues, it's just going to be in a hot soup. Because see, it's just some few weeks that NDC has been in power, and a lot of things are happening already. So if you want to say that once you are in power, a president is in power, the vice is in power, a leader, an assemblyman, or somebody in the regions, that's something, and you can trace that right away to the presidency and the party itself. No, if we go that route, it's going to mess things up. Then nobody will be accountable. People do stuff, and then they know that when you come for them, it's going to go straight up. It will turn political, and once it turns political, we're not going to get answers. We should be able to hold people at their levels accountable.
I'm just of the view that the magnitude and the damage that the Galamsey caused with the former president Akufo-Addo putting his presidency on the line, because I remember vividly watching live on air, beating his chest and saying he's putting his own presidency on the line. And yet we saw the body waters of our motherland all turn into chocolate or something like that. And
agree.
And then there were issues of excavators going missing, and there were issues of even the major figures also involved in Galamsey. We had Wotumi coming to live on air to show gold to, as people are starving. So I don't know if, this is my personal opinion, and I don't know whether Afenyo Markin points.
No, Afenyo was.
Even though I understand Afenyo Markin where it's coming from, but I don't think it merits that analogy. I don't know. This is my personal opinion. Yeah.
No, I get you. No, I understand you, but I will say that if you are building a nation, if you want to criticize people, you do not be fair and be straight to the point. If you lump people together, when the same thing is thrown back at you, you're going to have problem. So if somebody is doing something, if you find that, let's say Wontumi has done something, point to Wontumi and then deal with him. When you pull it up to Akufo-Addo and to Bawumia, the next time somebody of Wontumi's counterpart in the NDC does something, Mama will be sitting somewhere and he will be brought in.
I understand that. I definitely understand the point you raised. My point is that the devastation of the Galamsey and the presidency putting his presidency on the line, who never went through with his promise that he's going to really give his presidency up. He didn't. And Galamsey was a menace.
I agree.
That's two. The second point, we also have the minister, I think Dr. Professor
Boateng.
Boateng.
Oh, he was given a special task. At the time, he wasn't a minister. He was given a special portfolio to take care of. At that time, he had left. It was, I think, Nkufuor's time when he was doing science and something. But in Akufo-Addo's time, he got into, when a task force was put together, he was made to head the task force.
Yeah, but the point I was making, regarding him was that
Yeah.
he was of the view, came out with a documentary or a clip where close to the President Akufo-Addo's residence, we in the diaspora saw him trying to prove that presidents have got even the closest dig of this Galamsey thing behind the president's residency at Chebi. And there was, I don't know whether you saw that. I'm only just referencing that because
Yeah, I
of
know. I know.
okay, so,
I know.
so
I
the
know what
point
you're
I'm
saying.
making, let me welcome our beautiful lady.
Manka.
Obapa Day, how are you? Obapa Julu, can you hear us?
I think image is frozen.
Um, okay, my technical guys are trying to see. Obapa Day. Okay, let's carry on. I think she's always got a problem with this network thing. Okay, so the point I was making was that your minister, whether it was a minister for lands or something, I don't know, but Professor Boati then came close to show that caused the sitting president to also rebut and came back with another clip to prove that there was no such whatever Galamsey site,
Yeah.
even in his own compound or closer to his residence. So what I'm saying is that I'm not trying to justify what the deputy minister for education was trying to say, but I don't know whether Afenyo Markin's analogy and trying to defend the former president.
No, he wasn't defending him. No. You're missing the point. He was not defending him. He's only saying that if you want to criticize somebody, criticize the person such that when the same yardstick is used against you, you'll be fine with it. Because if somebody has done, because this thing about Galamsey in the Akufo-Addo's backyard is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. But you know, sometimes with this freedom watching thing, when the issue came up, and then the police was like, okay, so why don't you assist us to investigate the thing?
Okay, said, anyway, I get the point you are making. I'm just saying that I think that as for the Galamsey, Akufo-Addo was a failure, total failure when it came to the Galamsey.
That is not a problem. That is not a problem. I mean, yes. Of course, if he has succeeded, the water would have returned better. So yeah.
Let me welcome Obapa Julie, and then we continue. Obapa Julie, Lady J, Obapa J, the lady. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How are you doing?
We're all doing fine. I've got your fellow Obed also with us, as you can see, Obed, and we were doing a couple of analysis. But you are a parliamentary reporter, so quickly give us the breakdown and what actually happened in Parliament today, and also one or two items that you want to add to.
Okay. A very good evening to all our listeners across board. A quick one from Parliament today. Mr. Honorable Akando, Minta Akando, who doubles as the MP for Jab, to give a statement concerning usage of tramadol and then the youth, particularly in this country nowadays. We all know that tramadol is a painkiller that is mostly used in the hospital for other patients who are into high pains or whatever it is. But now Ghanaian, some of the youths are misusing it. Due to this, the health minister today gave a statement concerning the usage of tramadol and then other drugs which are not good for us, or which are not to be overused or to abuse it, because it has um negative effect on us youth. Nana, if you can recall, boys of today or guys of today think taking in tramadol is just for fun, without knowing the health impact, or the without knowing the health or the bad side of taking such drugs. So the minister today came to the house to brief Ghanaians, especially the to do away with such drugs that it has bad effect on their health system, especially with the kidney and then the liver as well. So after his statement, some of the MPs also gave their contributions towards on Honorable Senator, who is the MP for um Nana, help me. Honorable
Honorable.
Senator Wallace.
Kwale Clote.
Oh, okay,
Collect.
yes.
Yes. Also contributed by saying that even one of the security guys in her constituency has been admitted at 37 hospital due to this bad act of the drug addict. They
Yeah.
stormed into one of the classes of schools in her constituency and then attacked the security man who was there, because the security man was not willing to give them the way or the chance to enter into the school to take in those drugs. They attack him and then beat him massively. So as she's speaking to us now, the man is still in coma at 37 military hospital. So she is calling on the government, the Narcotic Control Board, to work hard to make sure that drugs like such are not exported into the country, because it is really affecting the youth massively. So
Yeah.
Honorable Ayimedu also came out that they should work together. The ministry should work together with the narcotic board to make sure that such drugs, the tramadol, and then with the sisters and brothers, will not be exported into the country, because it has a negative impact, which is really destroying most of the youth. Okay, so Nana, a brief one. This is what's happening in the floor of parliament. But then a quick one. As you we are all aware, the select committee is vetting the deputy ministers that were appointed by the president of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. So
Yeah.
today was Honorable John Domelo, who going to the agriculture sector. We all know
Right.
that he had, yes, so he was interrogated, asking of how they are going to work with the 24-hour economy by Honorable Afenyo Mikens, and then ask him other questions if he will be willing to be a president in the next 4 years. That will be 2028, since John Dramani Mahama won't be coming again. So this is a brief of what's happened in Parliament today as I speak.
Yes,
Hello.
but Julie, so what was the response of Dumelo, another
Okay,
film star?
John Demelo. Okay, so when he was asked if he would like to be the president in the next 4 years, the answer he gave was he's not ready yet, but God's time is always the best. And that if his time comes, he will also wish to serve his country as a Ghanaian. And concerning his field as Deputy Agriculture Minister, how he's going to help the youth, especially to involve themselves into agribusiness, his answer was everybody has a way of, or everybody has his ambitions, and that he will not say because he's a farmer.
Oh dear. Okay, Obed, let's take it from there then. Yeah. If
All
we get
right.
her back, okay, she's rejoined. Yeah. Yeah, Julie.
Yep.
Obapaje, we are listening. You went off.
Okay. So he stated that we have so many ambitions of each and every one of us, and that he will not force, or he will not mandatory ask people, the youth, especially the youth, to involve themselves in agri business. But then what he can do to help, that he's going to do it for the benefit of Ghanaians and then the youth especially. So Afenyo Markins asked what actually he's going to do for the people of Akachi and then Oti. That is where he comes from. And then he was like, he's not coming in the name of his hometown, but then he's coming in the name of Ghana. So he's going to help anyone, all the regions, anyone who needs his help as the minister, deputy minister for agric. When he was asked about the 24-hour economy, he said he's going to collaborate with his boss, that is Honorable Eric Opoku. When Eric, yeah, whatever that Eric will say, then they will continue from there. So this is a brief of what happened today at Parliament today. Yeah.
I see. That's interesting. Uh, uh, Tramadol case is a very big case. I mean, it's actually destroying the youth of Ghana, and I'm sure it goes across the rest of Africa as well. Obed, you are in the entertainment business in a big way, aside your skills and entrepreneurship. What do you make up of the tramadol issue?
I mean, for me, it's not just tramadol. Any drug that is abused, it's not something that we could take lightly. And I'm sure the highlighting of bringing tramadol to the fore is because um, a lot of people, I mean, find it easy to assess it. But it's not the only drug that is being abused. In fact, because of the entertainment space, a lot of people in the space tend to some of these drugs thinking that it's going to help them write better or perform better, or sometimes people are shy and they think that when they apply some of these drugs, it helps them to perform. And there's been a lot of science to debunk that, but
Yeah.
when people believe in stuff, you cannot just talk them out of it until something happens, and then they are like, oh, okay. The sad part is that, for example, this tramadol thing, there are certain ailments that the drug that is prescribed is tramadol. So it is of course it is the abuse that's where the problem is. So I do not think that it is the importation of the drug into the country is the problem. I think it is how it is dispensed. Maybe the regime of dispensation where it doesn't have to be over-the-counter drug. I'm not sure tramadol is over-the-counter, but of course, in every system, people find their way to abuse stuff. We might have to tighten it up a little. We might have to
Okay,
tighten up.
the tramadol is a big issue. I get your point. Now, Julie, with the
Yeah.
piece as well, Obed raised the issue of tramadol being tightened a bit and making it difficult for people to have access. With the cannabis, I'm only just throwing this in. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't part of your reportage, but I'm just throwing it in. People feel cannabis is a health and assist, especially people with certain diseases, including cancer and the rest. And one time when I visited Ghana, I heard the former head of, is it a narcotic drug? I'm not sure. One called something Sapon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it used to
yeah.
be former head of narcotic board.
Okay. Sapon was actually
Akwesi Sapon.
advocating for cannabis to be licensed and made legal, but like you said, under control or can be picked up over prescriptions. Uh, I'm only throwing this thing because we spoke about tramadol. So, what
Sure.
are your views, both of you?
Ladies first.
All right, so Nana, with the issue of the let me chip in this. With the issue of the trauma, what we also learned was, especially with the guys, that when they take it, they are able to have good sex. They are able to have good sex, and that's they stay long when having sex with the ladies. So that makes some of them to go in for the trauma though. Okay, Nana, why are you laughing?
I'm innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Oh man, is it true or not?
Well, I unfortunately I've not tried.
You
I've
see,
not tried tramadol.
okay, Julia made me laugh off. I was trying to hold the laughter, but Julia,
Well, she asked the question, so
Yes.
I would like to answer. I have not tried tramadol before, so I do not
Okay.
know how it impacts
yeah,
bedmatics.
I'm only interjecting. I'm not cutting you open, but I know you haven't tried to know. But what I'm saying is that your line of work
Yeah,
deals with a lot of these things.
Okay. Have you heard
So
the
I
youth? Have you heard some of the guys saying about
yeah.
it? Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to finish because I have a lot of real life stories. So I
So
wanted
exactly.
you to finish.
so continue from, because Nana. So these are one of the one. This is one of the major reason why some of the guys are taking in those drugs. They think that when they take in those drugs, they can overwork. Apart from having sex, maybe if the person is a mason or whatever it is, they can
Or
overwork without
yeah,
getting tired of doing their work. So these are some of the reasons that makes some of them to go into it, not knowing the bad effect of it. Okay. So this is what I can say about those drugs that the guys have been taking nowadays. Obed,
Okay.
over to you.
All right. So let me address the cannabis side and then I'll come to yeah. I I am of the view that
Mhm.
in fact I went to South Africa last October, and as I was in Johannesburg. I went to a shop to buy stuff, and at the corner I saw a cannabis shop, and I was with a friend from Ghana. I'm like, Nana, do you see what they've written there? He said, yeah, cannabis shop. I'm like, whoa, let's go in, let's go see what is happening there. So we went in, and there are samples like, this has a THC level of that, THC level of this, and I have taken the trouble to read a bit about that, because when the idea of it being um,
legalized.
um, legalized and it being a very good product that Ghana could export.
Yes.
Ghana could export for its medicinal purpose. I was
Yeah.
like, why don't, if we have the land and we have people to cultivate it, why not? I think our challenge comes to control. We've not been able to control things in this country. If if we're able to control galamsey, then I can trust us that we can control.
I totally agree with you that you are using the
Yeah,
galamsey as a reference. I like that.
yeah. If we are
Yeah.
able to
You can't
control
control
that,
galamsey.
then
How are you going to control cannabis?
exactly. If we can control that, then I'll say we will have the capacity to control this cannabis
Yeah.
thing. So, but for it being an economic commodity,
Yeah.
if the government is so minded and thinks that it can get a whole, plantation
Or
secluded.
and a very good revenue, but control over it, then why
Yeah.
not?
In fact, that's what I'm saying. It's secluded in a particular place. Is that it's not like anybody can cultivate it. No.
Yeah.
The government buy lands, let's say a farm place area, and then get some wires around it. This
Yeah.
is just cultivation for export. That's a different
Yes.
conversation. But it should not be one that, like the way cocoa and cassava is. No, that one is going to cause problem.
All
That
right.
one is going to
That's
give us some problems.
a good one, man. Yes. We lost Julie there, but Obed, we come well. You know, you and I have had a good marathon session. Grateful. We're so appreciative of you, and we can't wait to see you in London in the near future.
Sure.
Right. So
let me.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
Before, I just want to just chip in this one a little on sports. So,
yes.
The president, Ket Okreku, the president of GFA, has sued journalist Collins Atapoku, seeking 30 million Ghana cedis in damages. As far as it's concerned, Atapoku is putting out stories and defaming him, and the things he's saying about affect his person and it's caused him harm. You know, for you to claim damages or to go to court and say you are claiming damages, you should be able to prove that what the person has said has impacted negatively on you, your person, and all that. So he has proceeded to court to sue Collins Atapoku for, defaming him. Literally.
Yeah. So he, the DFA guy, is suing Atapoku, right?
Yes.
That's interesting. I thought you. I'm not saying he's guilty or not guilty because everybody's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. My position is that with the abysmal performance and the disgusting, and even I don't think the national team is going to the CAF. Is it this year? The CAF. It's not going to the CAF and all that.
Yeah, we missed that.
Very shame. Instead of going to court to fight a defamation suit. Anyway, that's a good story. It's good you chipped that one in, we could So we have to follow that story because so Atapo could be served yet, or this is just rhetoric.
This is just the beginning. It says he's been sued. He has been sued, but I'll maybe in our next telecast, I will follow up and then get some full details.
All right. Okay, Obed, my learned colleague, the motherland, Shores of Accra, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And it's good to be bringing us this great news, analysis, and headlines. We appreciate you.
It's a privilege. You too. We are.
All right. Okay, audiences, this is where we bring the whole show to a close. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Of course, like and share. See you on our next show. Bye-bye.
Black it out of Facebook. It show myself cannot access the Facebook or through my use it. But my record it anyway still. I can't. My record the stream still. You off.
I need to know if I'm off then.
Hold on.
Am I off?